Hello everyone. Let's continue with our last video. Last video we left with the discussion on limited source diffusion. Okay. So as we discussed in last lecture, that this limited source diffusion is basically uh, an example for this condition will be your drive-in step. Okay, drive-in step. Okay. So what basically happens in this is that the total amount of dopant, total number of dopants are constant. Okay, what it means is that uh, whichever number of dopants are already present in the substrate, those only participate in diffusion process. They will diffuse. Okay, and there is no new dopants getting entry into the substrate. Okay, so in a way you have removed the source of dopant from the top. Okay, okay, so this happens when you have removed, for example, phosphorosilica glass or borosilica glass. Okay, so there are no dopants reaching inside the substrate from the top of the surface. Okay, so this condition is basically termed as constant dopant diffusion or limited source diffusion. Okay, okay, so in this case if you look at the situation. Okay, so this is the substrate. Okay, and at the top you have x is equal to 0. Okay, and this x increases as we move deeper into the substrate. Okay, so now if we look at the boundary conditions in this case. Okay, so one of the boundary condition is same, which is c at infinity for all values of time, okay, is equal to 0. It is same as constant source diffusion case. Okay, then interestingly, as we have noted down that our total amount of dopants are constants. Okay, so what we have is that total number of dopant means we can integrate the concentration function, which is basically concentration dependent on depth and time. Okay, with respect to depth. Okay, and depth ranging from 0 to infinity. Okay, 0 means surface and infinity is a hypothetical point somewhere where your concentration falls to 0. Okay, so anywhere in reality you have to integrate it from top of the surface to the bottom of substrate. Okay, so x ranging from, let's say, 0 to and say few hundred microns. Okay, okay, so this way this quantity, which is your total number of dopant, is constant. Okay, and we call it as S. Okay, so what this S is your total number of dopants. Okay, and this is total number of dopants per unit area. Per unit area. Okay, why it is per unit area? You see that this quantity is your per unit centimeter cube, or it is per unit volume, and that volume is multiplied by depth. Okay, per unit volume quantity multiplied by depth is your per unit area quantity. Okay, so this is these are the conditions. Okay, we have got value S defined, which is total number of dopants per unit area, and then we have another condition where C infinity comma T is equal to 0. Okay, now if we were to solve our diffusion equation. Okay, so we will write diffusion equation here once again. Okay, Okay, so if you write diffusion equation, what is the diffusion equation? It is del C by del T, which is time rate of change of concentration in a volume, okay, is equal to diffusion constant capital D multiplied by second gradient of concentration with respect to distance. Okay, so this is what is your Fick's second law. This is Fick's second law. Okay, this we get after once we place law of conservation of mass, okay, in the equation of in the first law. Okay, so first law what we had was F is equal to minus capital D del C by del X. Okay, this was our first law. Okay, in this first law you have to place condition that the change in concentration is basically equal to incoming flux minus outgoing flux of, so okay, so this way you can write. Okay, now when we solve this second equation, okay, so what we get is again a solution, okay, uh, solution after applying the appropriate boundary condition to this diffusion law, okay, and the expression we get for, okay, okay, the expression we get for concentration in this case is C function of distance and time is actually equal to S is your total dopants per unit area divided by under root pi d t, okay, and an exponent of minus x square divided by 4 dt. Okay, so this function is a form of Gaussian function. Okay, so what we get our dopant profile to be a Gaussian function. Okay, okay, so if you could recall, for constant source diffusion we had a complementary error function as dopant profile, whereas in this case, in a limited source diffusion case, we get a Gaussian function type dopant profile. Okay, so if we were to draw this dopant profile, okay, so you will so we will get this dopant profile. Let me, okay, 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 this is depth x, and at in y-axis we plot C of x comma t. Okay, and so basically in the beginning the situation will be like this. Okay, something like this. Okay, so this is the concentration versus depth profile, the dopant profile for, let's say this is for t is equal to t1. Okay, okay, if you look at the profile for larger time, then your dopant profile might become like this. Okay, and let's say that this is for t2 time. Okay, and then if you wait for more time and you allow diffusion to for longer times, then it may become like this. Okay, this is for t3. So this is how your dopant profile will change with time. Okay, so you will see that at in the beginning your concentration is again largest at the surface. Okay, here you have got x is equal to 0. Okay, this is at the surface your concentration maximum. Okay, and then you have got total area under this curve. Okay, so with time your curve changes, but the total area under these curves is same. Okay, for first, second, third, all these curves, the area under the curve is going to be same. Okay, with time what happens that the maximum concentration at the surface will change, and extent to which your diffusion has taken place or dopant has reached also changes. Okay, so for initially you will see that the concentration at surface is this big. Okay, okay, and your dopant has reached till this depth. Okay, we may call it x1. Okay, x1 depth. Okay, as you allow for longer time t2, what happens, your maximum concentration at the surface now has decreased, but dopant has reached even deeper. Okay, okay, और अगर हम लोग और ज्यादा डिफ्यूजन टाइम अलाउ करें, ओके, और ज्यादा डिफ्यूजन टाइम अगर हम लोग अलाउ करते हैं, ठीक है नहीं, तो क्या होगा, आपका जो मैक्सिमम कंसंट्रेशन है सरफेस पे वो पहले से और कम हो जाएगी, और जो डिफ्यूजन है वो और डिस्टेंस तक हो जाएगा, और आपके डोपेंट और डीप पहुंच जाएंगे. ओके, this way. Okay, so we can so these are three different dopant profiles for three different diffusion times. Okay, so here we can note that T1 is less than T2 and T2 is less than T3. Okay, T2 is less than T3. Okay, so if you are to understand it, a physical picture of this. Okay, so we can okay, so let's say this is silicon substrate. Okay, and we will okay, and this is the status of our I am plotting our same substrate at three different times. Okay, let's say this is the status at time t1, this is the status at time t2. Okay, and this is the status at time t3. Okay, okay, so okay, so at time t1 what happens that I have got let's say 5 3 4 5 6, okay, and 3 9 and 1. Maybe, I mean, an imaginary dopant profile you may find looks something like this. Okay, so what happens that at the surface you have got a larger concentration, then as you go deeper your concentration falls, and this is the extent to which your diffusion has taken place. Okay, now as we wait for longer time, what happens? What happens that your these dopants will even move deeper. Okay, and our situation will become like this. Okay, our number of dopants are still same. Okay, but the situation is something like this. Okay, okay, so our dopant has reached even deeper, but the overall concentration at points at the surface has decreased. Okay, and this is the details, this is the physical picture in case of second term. Okay, if we allow for even longer diffusion time, okay, so what will happen, our diffusion will go even deeper. Okay, let's say it has reached to the bottom. Okay, and we may have situation something like this. Okay, now our concentration at top is even smaller than before. Okay, and we may have some things something like this. Okay, so this is how your situation is. Okay, so So this is clear now that for limited source diffusion, what we have got is that our total number of dopant inside our volume is constant, and as we allow longer diffusion time, what happens that your dopants which are already present in the substrate, these dopants will basically redistribute themselves, okay, and they will diffuse even deeper, and your concentration at the top, at the near the surface will keep on decreasing, and your dopant concentration at the depth will increase with time. Okay, so this is how it is. Okay, so now let's see that how these curves for limited source diffusion fare look against the curve for constant source diffusion. Okay, if you could recall that for constant source diffusion, okay, okay, this one we have drawn for limited source. Okay, here it is for constant source diffusion. Okay, so here we have that at the top of the surface, okay, which is basically x is equal to 0. Okay, our concentration is constant and the value is Cs. This remains constant with time. Okay, so at t is equal to t1, we will get a curve like this. Okay, this is for t1. Okay, then for t is equal to t2, we will get another dopant profile, and it is something like this. Okay, so what you will see that the surface dopant concentration is same. Okay, and diffusion of dopants basically is even deeper. Dopants have reached even deeper, and total number of the dopants keep on increasing with time, as is clear that you see that for second curve the area under curve is larger. Okay, and this is the curve for time t2. Okay, and then if you allow for more diffusion time, okay, so your curve will be like this. This is for t3. Okay, here again t1 is less than t2 and t2 is less than t3. Okay, so these are the three different dopant profiles for successive time values. Okay, and this is how you can visualize that difference between the constant source diffusion and limited source diffusion. Okay, so now with this we have discussed our diffusion process, and there are certain phenomena which also takes place during the diffusion, which we shall be aware of. Okay, and that is called as lateral diffusion. Okay, so this is a phenomena which we can't really control, basically because diffusion is a natural process. Okay, so what actually happens is that okay, let's say this is the our situation, and okay, and here we have our dopants here in this area. Okay, now if we allow for diffusion, okay, So we may expected that diffusion shall take only in to the uh, to the bottom direction, okay, downward direction, okay. But what will happen, as is obvious, that diffusion will take place in all directions, okay. So when we allow for diffusion, okay, so we will get a, after diffusion, okay, these dopants which were till now, till here, okay, they will diffuse like this, okay. Okay, so they will not only diffuse in this direction, but they will be diffusing horizontally also, okay. So this sort of diffusion, this type of diffusion basically is called as lateral diffusion, okay, lateral diffusion, okay. So what it means is that we have, if we had applied our dopants like this, okay, this was our mask, dopant mask. It can be a layer of SiO2 and photoresist combined, okay. Means top is photoresist and top layer is photoresist, then you have oxide layer, okay, or maybe we have removed the photoresist, but anyway the uh, we have got a dopant mask layer, okay. So when we apply dopant, okay, okay, so of course we have stopped dopants to reach our substrate from these areas, okay. So here at this point, okay, okay, at this point, and means here in this volume and here on this side, okay, in these two sides what happens that our dopants have not reached, okay. We had stopped our dopant to reach here, okay, and our dopants have reached only this part of the substrate, okay. So we had cut this window, and this was the width, design width of the uh, this window where we wanted to introduce dopants. Let's say that we are creating source and drain, okay. So now what happens that when we uh, have completed our this pre-deposition step where we had applied these dopants, and now we allow for drive-in step, okay. When we apply allow for drive-in step, so these dopants will diffuse not only inside this width, which was the expected width, okay, okay, not only this width, but dopants will reach even to the far distances on the horizontal directions, okay. So this diffusion is called as lateral diffusion, okay. So basically our source or drains diffusions will basically they will extend beyond what we have drawn them actually, okay. So let's say that if we had drawn our source to be like this, okay, so actual source will be something wider, okay. Why it is wider? It is wider because of lateral diffusion, okay. Let me draw it in clear, okay. So this is the phenomena of lateral diffusion, okay. So what it meant is that if we had planned our source diffusion to be like this, okay. So this is our source diffusion which was expected to be of this width, okay. मतलब लिथोग्राफी करके एचिंग करके हमने इतना विड्थ ओपन किया था सबस्ट्रेट के ऊपर, जहां पे हमने क्या किया था, अपना डोपिंग अलाउ किया था, ओके। लेकिन जब हम इसको डिफ्यूजन करवाएंगे, ड्राइव इन स्टेप करेंगे, तो ये इस इधर से तो डेप्थ इसकी बढ़ेगी ही, ओके, बट साथ साथ इनकी जो हमारे डिफ्यूजन प्रोफाइल है इनकी विड्थ भी बढ़ जाएगी, ओके। तो ये जो लेटरल डायरेक्शन में जो डिफ्यूजन हो रहा है, लेटरल डायरेक्शन में डिफ्यूजन आपका जो हो रहा है, ओके, टू लेफ्ट एंड राइट, दिस इज कॉल्ड एज okay, lateral diffusion. Okay, so with this we have discussed diffusion process. Okay, so this is used for doping. Okay, now we have to understand that. Okay, so this lateral diffusion, and there is another phenomena which we should know about diffusion is impurity or dopant redistribution. Okay, so whenever there's temperature or a step which reaches high temperature, because you know that we make integrate circuit stepwise. Okay, so many steps are repeated, that many times whenever you have to repeat lithography or create new windows, okay, or you have to pattern the deposited layers. So every time what we are doing is that we are growing oxide, okay, and so this happens that on many occasions your substrate will be subjected to higher temperatures. Okay, so every time such temperatures are provided, so your dopants will basically get opportunity to diffuse. Okay, so throughout your process, what happens that your dopants keep on redistributing themselves. So this phenomena, dopant redistribution, we shall keep in mind. Okay, and this dopant redistribution is basically like our limited source diffusion. Okay, so with this we will come to the end of diffusion topic. You may explore textbooks for complete details. Okay, and in the next lecture we will discuss a very important and the primary method of doping, okay, which we call as ion implantation. Okay, so with this I conclude topic of diffusion, and let's meet in another lecture, next lecture. Okay, thank you.